Congressional term limits is becoming a major issue in some of the key Senate races across our nation. In Ohio, our state chairman, Bernie Moreno, is running against incumbent Sherrod Brown. Bernie is making term limits a key issue in that race against Brown, who supported term limits before he didn't. In Pennsylvania's Senate race, challenger David McCormick has also made congressional term limits a major issue in his race against incumbent Bob Casey. McCormick pledged to serve only 2 6-year terms if elected and will vote to support congressional term limits. Hi, I'm Holly Robichaud, and this is breaking news on term limits. We've been working closely with Unite New York, holding webinars, lobbying days with our state chair, Liz Garrity, to raise awareness for a bill that enacts term limits on the New York governor and other statewide officials. But we're running out of time to pass the bill. Here's an excellent snippet of a terrific video on term limits. Check it out.
So often when people enter office, they come in for good reasons, and when they get into office, they work on it. It takes a while to adjust to the political world, and then after some amount of time, they can try to make that change. But the thing is, if you let people be in office much longer than that, they're not there to make a change for their constituents. They're there just to stay in power. So when someone is an incumbent for a really long time, they can, over time, build up an incredible war chest that allows them to stay in office. And then once they've built up that kind of infrastructure, it can be really hard for, someone new to break into that system. Politicians, once they have the incumbency advantage and they're running consistently as the person who's already in the seat, they can win elections over and over again. It is very hard for someone to come in and challenge them and boot them out of power. When we have people that spend their entire lives as politicians, they're going to get out of touch. They're not going to be able to understand what normal Americans are going through.
For more information on what's happening in New York, sign up for their mailing list at unitenewyork.org/join. New York is one of 13 states that doesn't have term limits on its governor, but with your support, we can make it join the other 37 states that do. This is an important reminder for our viewers in North Dakota. Age limits will be on the primary ballot on June 11th. Make sure to vote yes on the ballot measure 1 for age limits on Congress. Vote yes. State legislative candidates across the nation are getting the message that voters want congressional term limits. An additional 71 2024 candidates have signed our pledge in the past 2 weeks. This continued exponential growth is due to our outstanding pledge team and the support for our issue. Our team has been working diligently to gather and get every state legislative candidate on board for supporting congressional term limits. In congressional primaries held on May 21st, 15 congressional term limits pledge signers won their primaries outright or advanced to the runoff in Georgia, Kentucky, and Oregon. Over the past 2 weeks, we saw an additional 12 congressional candidates sign our U.S. term limits pledge. Currently, we have over 130 members of Congress who have signed the U.S. term limits pledge. This means after the November elections, we know we'll have even more term limit supporters than we ever have before in Congress. And now it's time for the Corrupt Politician of the Week, and we've got a doozy. It's former California Representative Duke Cunningham. Representative Cunningham served from 1991 to 2005 in California's 50th District for the U.S. House of Representatives. As you can imagine, he's no fan of term limits. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, he served 8 years in prison for various crimes, including conspiring to commit bribery, honest service fraud, and tax evasion involving more than $1 million of unreported income. The Department of Justice also reports that Cunningham was also ordered to pay almost $2 million in restitution for back taxes and penalties and interest owed to the government. He also admitted to accepting at least $2.4 million in bribes through his various means. Oh boy. The U.S. Attorney at the time phrased our sentiments perfectly. No one can serve the public and his own greed at the same time. Mr. Cunningham failed his office, his colleagues, and his nation. I couldn't agree more. Every week, I bring you a new corrupt politician of the week. And it's because people serve in office way too long. We got to do something about it. Congressional term limits can become a reality. We've got the momentum and we've got the support of the people, but we can't do it without your help. Please go to termlimits.org and get involved today. And be sure to share this program with your friends and family. This is Holly Robichaud for U.S. Term Limits Breaking News. I'll see you soon.